and welcome to the Wow Chainagng, the women's only Wednesday Chainagng. And guess what? This is, as it says at the top of the screen, our 500th esports show. Not shows, we've done a lot more than that. 500 esports cycling shows over the last few years. So thank you, everybody who has watched, who has shared, who has liked, who has helped spread the word and helped us get all those shows out there. There's been a long cast of people who've made it happen, but thank you to each and every one of you. Without your support, we wouldn't be doing this now, and we wouldn't be bringing commentary out to lots and lots of people, to quite literally millions of people. So a massive, massive, massive thank you again from me, from Emma, from Tim, and from all the guys behind the scenes. We really, really appreciate it. Everybody who shared it, everybody who's liked them on the way out, it really does make a big, big difference. Now, we have stripped back the broadcast a little bit tonight, and that is as much as anything, just because we wanted to make sure that we brought you all of the key details. Now, tonight we are for the WoW in RGV in France on the Route Grand Vitesse, and we have got a very quick lead in. Our riders just making their way onto that lead in now. It will take them in and on to what is a special distance course. Now that means that what we've done is we've taken a standard route and we've chopped it down a little bit. Gives us the right distance, gives us the right profile. So you can see over on the screens, over there, our little blue dot is on its way round. This is a nice, easy route, basically. But when we come round on our second lap, we will be finishing at the Ballon Sprint reverse, which you can just see our blue dot has gone through. So we do one full circuit, including the gorge and through the marina, and then we do a part circuit of 17.1k, and that will take us out round to our finish, and the finish should come at 42.2k. 42.2k is the number to remember. Now, if you want to take a look at that in a little bit more detail, then let's just show you that as part of the fantastic Velo Viewer graphics. The Velo Viewer graphics really, really key because they tell us exactly where you are and exactly how hilly it is. That gives you the distance and the profile. Now, Velo Viewer, able to spin, you can stretch, but we keep these all the same scale. As you can see, this is a predominantly flat route. The key sectors are the aqueduct climb. That is the climb that goes from 12k into the circuit to 13k in the circuit. And the gorge, which is a real roller coaster as you come back, dropping down through 22 and into 23 kilometers, because from 21 right the way to 23k, those are roller coasters that are going to make a difference. So really, really key if you are going to be heading out and around the circuit to know exactly where you are. Now, our riders are out on the circuit. They're making their way out and around the route. So let's go join them. Let's join our yellow beacon, the one and only T2 Terminator. It's Tracy Seeley. And our red beacon, Pit Morn. It's going to be a great wow tonight. 500th show. Make myself feel old. So here we are out en route with the riders as we make our way. We've just come through that marina section and we are just heading our way in. Nice, Tracy, to remind me just how old. We have T1 and T2 tonight because we do have Maddie Smith in as well. Maddie is our T1. Now, Stockton just on her way up. I think probably likely to make this at a fair old speed today because coming in hot at about 2.7, Nicole, 2.7 watts per kilo. So Nicole with a bit of ground to make up to the group up here. This is our main beacon group, and as you can see at the moment, the riders making their way in through. You can see our red beacon tucked in as well. And at the moment, the group coming through, just riding in with rear mobs actually at the moment. And rear one of our key riders, very, very strong of late, been riding really, really well. I know out at a cyclocross quite recently. Great to see Ria going really well at the moment. Just going to have a little bit of a check through. I think we have got our original T1 Terminator. Maddie Smith is tucked in here somewhere in the green. That's Maddie. So I think if we're going to get the right ride, I'm going to go directly above. It is, I think, Maddie in the green there. That is on the way through Bolsover District. CC rider to be in DCC. Let's have a little look who else we have on board with us. Abby Scales in again. You can see Abby back on with us in the gang. Nicole making her way up to the front. It's actually closing down quite fast at the moment. 37 seconds down. She was originally over a minute down. So that gap is coming down fast. Nicole Stockton going to be stretching those legs out big style to get back into the group. Foxy in with the group nicely at the back. Foxy's going for the stealth option today. Foxy is notorious, stroke infamous, stroke famous for the volume of kits in her garage. She doesn't just have a dressing room attached to her Zwift garage. She has a dressing aircraft hangar. That is how big the dressing room is for Foxy's Avatar's cycling kits. In fact, it's almost as big as the factory that you can see in the background. That's just to produce all of the Avatar's clothes that are worn by Foxy in the course of one Chainagng season at the moment in the black camo down to the sides. So, you know, I've got Joanne Lee is in the group. Joanne with the purple kit there, just as we on the way in through. Let's take a little bit of a check. Looking good as to make the way in through at the moment. Taking a little bit of a check. Looks like Muddy just getting a little bit of distance put into her. She comes in over the top. Looks like people with issues. So let's take a look at Muddy just dropping off the pace a little bit. Nicole Stockton not far off the back. She's just making her way over that same bridge. Not going to be long before she is in there. So Maddie just going to see, I think, Nicole coming up in a rear view mirror. Riders in front just rolling along. Remember, it will get faster, it will get quicker, and the pace will hot up as we make our way in towards finish. Because we've got a few of our riders in here that we've seen on and off on the way through. Nina in from the Aeonian squad. We've got Claire Jessup in here as well. Tracy City, I'm trying to get slowly, steadily to Tracy City. We have got Angela Webster on board. So Angela just tucks over the far side there. This group coming along nice and smoothly at the moment. Looks like we've got Monkhouse in here. That's Suzanne Monkhouse from the Electric Spirit squad. And that is the orange kit, or a very distinctive kit for the orange and white Electric Spirit. Electric Spirit taking part in the Tour of Boudica. And I think Emma, who is the key organiser of the Chainagng in here, just going to take a little bit of a look. Emma from Full Speed Events is going to be riding, getting the speeding at the moment. Just going to come back on with Stockton. I think just still waiting to help pick those group at the back up. And Emma from Full Speed Events going through in that Peugeot kit. It's going to be on the mic for the Tour of Boudica, which is coming out to you on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And Emma is going to be on the mic for that. We've decided that we're going to be helping out a number of events that we can do, and one of those that we're doing that, Emma in there, a big donation from the Full Speed Events team to make sure that the commentary is covered off for them and the Tour of Boudica, and that's part of our investment in cycle sport and grassroots cycle sport, whether that is virtual or out on the road. Now, let's take a look at some of our other riders in here. We have got Izzy Torrey in and on board. No surprises that Izzy Torrey is going to be one of our hot favourites here today. Nicely in with this group, looking pretty smooth at the moment, just keeping the heart rate ticking, 81 beats per minute, hardly moving at the moment. Now as we start to build up the pace here, Maddie Smith nicely back into that group after just dropping back. Looks like, in fact, we've got both of the mobs. We've got Jade mobs with us as well. Welcome, Jade. Good to see Jade again. Rhea and Jade regulars on the national scene not all that long ago. Jade and Rhea in with us. So great to see they are both on board once again. Do have a few new riders. So it looks like we've got, I think it's going to be Alice for second on here. So we're going to take a little bit of a check. There are definitely are one or two new riders on here. Here we go. So, welcome to the Chainagng. This is going to be Alice Fonseca. Alice, one of our newer riders on to the Chainagng. I'm sure we're going to hopefully have a great time here tonight. So, go to see Alice on here. One of our new riders. So, very simple rules. It is try to stay around yellow until the magic 3 words are issued. And that is 3 Gs, 3 Os. Not in that order. So great to have a new rider on board and with us. Let's jump in with our yellow beacon, the rider who's charged with setting off the group with those 3 Gs and 3 Os. That is the one and only Tracy Seeley, the Terminator T2.0, and terminated by name, terminated by nature. So really key. So we finish at the getting on the details. We finish at the balance sprint on the second lap. And the numbers that you need to remember is 42.2 kilometres. 42.2k is when we reach the second Ballon sprint finish line. We don't do 2 complete laps, we do 1 and a 1 part lap, and that takes us to 42.2k. Tracy at some point will be calling those 3 Gs and those 3 Os, and at that point all the limiters are off, all the rules have gone. It's up to you what you do, when you go, how fast you go. Now, lots of other things to tell you. We've got loads to tell you tonight. So apart from the fact, did I mention, this is our 500th Cycling Esports show. Yes, I am very, very proud of that. That and the fact that we have done well over 300 Donny Chaingang and Wow Chaingangs. So let's have a quick little check who's new. Nicole Stockton is new too. Hello, Nicole. We have featured Nicole in here as well. So I'm sure everybody will be quickly chiming in with the hellos for Nicole. So Nicole Stockton. Hello, Nicole. Welcome. There we go. Look at that. Super quick. Thank you very much, everybody. It's always nice to welcome all our new riders. So, as well as it being having done over 300, I have of the over 300 broadcasts of the Donny Chaingang and the Wow Chaingang that we've done on the shows. I have missed exactly 1. And the one that I did miss, I was the yellow beacon for. So we had Emma. So in fact, overall we've done them all. But I have done well over 300. We are indeed live streaming. Thank you very much, Tracy, for picking it up on board. Go to YouTube, search Full Speed Events. You can see on top of your screen, Full Speed Events YouTube channel. And we're on there. Over 300, in fact, just over 300 tunes. Miss Cookie, you get to listen to the lovely Matt on YouTube. You do get to listen to me on this, and you can actually listen to me at the moment on a number of different things, because we're going to have the Downing Cycling channel tomorrow. That is going to be for the Donny Chaingang. I'm going to be back on Sunday with our usual esports show. We're also going to be around a week on Sunday and that is going to be there. And we're going to be putting out the, so I'm going to be working on the UCI cyclocross. So if your computer isn't in a geo-restricted area, that'll be on the cyclocross for the UCI. I'm going to be coming to you from Benidorm and then Hoogerheide, and then I am going to be heading out to Tabor for that as well. Now, it's one big gang, so we have done over 300 Donny Chaingang and Wow Chaingangs. We've done 500. This is number 500th show. And on the 500th show, there are some details we want to give you, because we have launched the Wow Week. That's right, Women Only Wednesday. Well, it's Women's Only Wednesday to Wednesday, or the Women's Only Week. Take your pick on which way you want to go. Wow. Because that is going to be out in France. It is going to be down in the Charente, not far from Vitoy, Charente, which is a very nice chateau. It's got a very nice bakery. It's got 2 very nice bars. So if in doubt, have a little look on the Facebook page for the Wow Facebook page. Get yourselves down. There's going to be lots of rides. There's going to be lots of cake, I'm sure. There's going to be lots of fun, lots of laughs, and hopefully lots of riders. And we're going to be taking rides out. I say we, Emma's mostly going to be taking rides out. We've got some great leaders lined up. We've also got some great fun and games. The details are on the Facebook page. Please, please, please do have a look. See if you can come out and join us. That is for the Wow, the Women's Only Wednesdays week. Really, really important. Now, the shirts come out from Tracy to start winding it up today. So, looks like the group, let's just go past the tractor at the side of the course. This group just starting to put the pressure on, making the way through the French fields. If you like the French scenery, this has nothing on the scenery out and around the Charente, I can tell you. That is for sure. Roman ruins. Some resistance monuments. We have some Neolithic and Iron Age architecture and sites. We have tombs. We have great bars, cafes, restaurants all lined up. Might even be some wild swimming. Not for me. I'm not going to be on that. In fact, I'm trying to hide out of the way the entire week because it's Women's Only weeks of the team. So. Don't forget, make sure, get yourselves in, get yourselves signed up. There will be some flowers by then. There will be the usual fantastic French roads, lots of red wine, might be gin or two, some great company, some great training, some great riding, going to mix it up. We've got lots of great places to go and incredibly quiet roads. You will see more cars on the roads of Zwift than you can often see on a day's riding in the area. You have been warned, it's pretty quiet. So, get down, go on to the Facebook page, have a little look on there. I don't think how many shows will be on by then. Not sure. I really want to know how many shows will be on by then, but it will be a lot. Shall we let no, don't let me join. I don't have no intention of coming whether you let me or not. We'll let you go get on with it. I'm just going to go do, I'm going to be there at your service in terms of mechanicing, so we're going to be able to look after your bikes, service your bikes, just check to make sure that's all there. I'm loving the I can commentate whilst you ride. They might be doing that from the Full Speed Events van. We're going to have van backup out there for the week in case anybody has issues. You've got the full mechanic services as well. We'll be looking after our riders and hoping that everybody is out there. So hopefully it's going to be in there. Foxy's hoping she can get there. Desperately pulling in favours. Guys, just get sorted. Don't mind when you come out. Do day before, day after. We can deal with that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great laugh. And all with that wow spirit. And you never know. You might even find a proper full-on wow chain gang to race back to us for a barbie or two on the way round. Okay. Heading into town, heading into the fields at the moment on the Chainagng. You can just see on our satellite navigation view, we've got a couple of little wiggles coming in. A little bit of a kick here at 5% as we make our way up away from the coastline and into town. We're going to be heading up the side of the river very shortly. We've just got to go over the top. Very similar to the roads in front. Nice and quiet, nice and smooth tarmac. Looks like Nicole Stockton nicely tucked in here with our leading group. Just keeping an eye on the from the side here. Nicole looking really smooth as she's pedalling up alongside Tracy Seeley. Checked it. That's pretty good. Looks like Emma's technical. So the reason why I'll be doing the mechanicking, Emma has managed to not put the lid on the water bottle properly. I will be doing the mechanicking. There's access to water and food and plenty of OC goodies at ours. An early shower for Emma in the pain cave. Fortunately, we have stripped a lot of the gear out of the studio too at the moment for a reason. Thank you very much, Alice. Loving the live commentary. Let's just take a little bit of a check. I was just going to try and find Alice in the group because it is a little bit tricky bouncing about. The roads here in France, very similar as you're making your way up and through. We're just going to go put the helicopter up above whilst we take a little bit of a check down on our riders. So Alice Fonseca in here. Alice from Norway, in fact. Good to see Alice is in here. And Alice up on the front there in that classic Strava kit with the orange, white and like almost could match the colours of the Norwegian flag. Not quite. Close though on some pretty deep rims there, which is going to make a difference when the speed starts to hot up. No problems at all holding in on the front of the group as our riders make their way through. Just taking a check, 68 revs per minute, so just ticking along nice and steadily. I'm sure that'll start to be a case of revving it up soon. We've got Emma Gilbert on board. Good to see Emma is in here. What kit is Emma in today? Always good to know what our riders are wearing. So we're going to try and get a quick check of Emma. It looks like Emma's in the black camo there. I'm just going to get a double check as we go up the road. It could well be that Emma's in the group. I think she's in the black there. We may have to have a little bit of separation in this group as we go through. Let's see who's got that wave sorted. Ooh! Tracy Seeley asking if she can call the 3 Gs in French style. Well, the person to ask is the boss, Emma from Full Speed Events, who is in here. Emma is definitely in stealth mode today. She's here. Emma's in stealth today, so in the stealthy black. So Emma Gilbert is in the stealthy black. Emma from Full Speed Events, it's Emma Martin, Professor Emma Martin, commentator for the... Emma Martin is going to be commentating on Tour Boudica. Please give it a listen. Give it a watch. Emma is doing that, part of Full Speed Events, so we are supporting Zwift events. We are supporting the Tour of Boudica. We're supporting the Nordschleife gravel raid, which is the big gravel ride in September. We're supporting the Flandrian Charentes ride, which is on the Sunday. That's the road ride up with the various Meurs and Bergs in France. We're supporting the Nottingham Clarion cyclocross as well. Putting on, of course, the Wow Chaingang. This is all done by myself and Emma. I do the broadcast and gets to do all of the organising on the way through. At the moment, the group are looking pretty smooth as they make their way down. Look at that. It's very nice out there, isn't it, today? Making the way in and through, just watching Emma from Full Speed Events, just making their way down in the middle of that group. They're going to come down underneath the windmill. Impasse of Fate, always fun. So not long until our riders head on to the tougher parts of the circuit. Let's pull you down the map here from Bellevue. Massive thank you to Bellevue. If you have not gone on to VeloViewer, grab a view of your stats for the year on VeloViewer. If you think the Strava stats are good, well, add Strava to VeloViewer, give it a good old mashup. Out the other side comes all of your yearly stats. Really, really great. If you want to know where the routes go, how hilly they are, we get to spin these, you get to stretch them, you can look at sections in detail. You can have it in a 3D, which we have up on the center of the screen at the moment. You can shrink it, like the one on the left. You can make it bigger, like the one in the center. You make it 2D or 3D, you can pull it in any direction you want. You can show the detail, the gradients, the percentages. As you can see, we are at the moment making our way round. We are currently between the 11k marker and the 12k marker, so top dead center of the map, and you'll see that we're about to hit the steady climb that takes us to the Aqueduct KOM. Now, the Aqueduct KOM is not a mountain top finish, believe me. It is a tricky one, though, for the group to stay together. If we take our map outwards, top right-hand side of your screen, I'm going to zoom out. You can see the long straight at the top left-hand side of the sat-nav. It's got a little gantry on it. Before that, we go left, right, and then a 90 right. This is where things get a little bit hard to keep the group together. So, working together, learning how to modulate your power, how to keep those revs going, is going to be really, really key here. It's one of the things we love about the Chainagng. There are riders in the men's and women's peloton who have been riding this regularly. There are plenty of riders who basically turning around and saying, we have got competitive. There are cyclocross riders riding national series, all about getting on the bike and riding and racing, because they've got the skills, they've got the fun back by riding on the Donny Chaingang, on the WOW Chaingangs. So please, guys, make sure you get that dialed. Remember, this is about the back pushing up. If you're near the back of the group, give it a squeeze. If you're near the front of the group, just make sure that you ease off when we come up and around. Now, this is the actual KOM starting it itself. We're just going to go find our Aqueduct QOM reverse. So, we're on our way up here. Should be no times on there. Average gradient 2.3%, as you can see, 400 meters long. And at the moment, as the riders make the way up here, it's looking pretty good. We're making our way to the Pont de Gare. So the Pont de Gare is the image. If you Google Pont de Gare, you'll see it is very, very similar in the outside world as well as on Zwift. It's almost identical from one to the other. It's one of the really realistic things about the Zwift world, where you've got that replication of an outdoor scenery section. So the riders on their way up, making their way in towards the archway underneath this fantastic Roman architecture. The triple layered road on the bottom layer, and then the water running across on the aqueduct at the top, but going at the moment over the bridge, the pont, and making the way over the river, and then going to drop down the other side. Now, as you go up and down this on either side, it's almost identical distance and gradient. Looks like one rider who is just starting to feel the pace at the back behind our leader at the moment. Just going to take a little bit of a look. Might be a late join. Just going to take a little look. Just going to see that it is someone in. It looks like this is going to be Katarzyna. So Katarzyna just being distanced a little bit. Looks like Pip Morn just heading back to go give a bit of assistance. Now, the role of our red beacons are absolutely essential, and we know that we've got a great red beacon in Pit Morn. Now, this is going to happen. The riders are coming back, looking after those riders who maybe just been dropped on a bit of a squeeze, bringing them back up. You get a great workout being red. Though generally what happens is when we hear the 3 Gs and 3 Os, which is the traditional call, which today might be 3 Al and Lays, in a row. So I'm going to let you work out what that is. I don't dare say it because everybody will be in there. So let's have a... when that goes, then the red beacon tends to form the bus at the back. If you want to see some of the buses that have been put on the Facebook pages, go on to the Full Speed Events Instagram, go on to Mount Fixer Pain on Facebook, or on to Instagram. There are some great images on there. Emma pulled together a selection of red bus images. And I tell you something, there have been some absolutely brilliant ones over the years. At the moment, Katarzyna just squeezing to get with our red beacon. Working hard, there was a 3.7. Not going to be making it easy on that bike. I have to say, it looks great, but this classic Zwift bike, I'm going to try and get a good look at the Zwift bike. So the classic Zwift bike, I used to race on something very, very similar to this. Basically, aero hoods, down tube shifters. I think there were 32 hole spokes, I think then, 32 hole spokes on there. Cotter cracks certainly weren't made out of carbon fibre like that one is. Chrome fork ends, so you've got half chrome on the fork blades in the back of the stays. But my goodness, this is tough stuff. Because when you put the power down here, you're giving away quite a lot of energy in just pushing it through the wind. That's why we all rode slow. It wasn't until we were all rubbish, because our equipment wasn't as aero. And it's my story, and that is what I'm sticking to. Okay, red beacon has collected our rider. You're going to have to try and make 15 seconds. That's going to take a bit of doing, you never know. I suspect there's going to be Foxy just hanging at the back. What's Foxy's kit? Well, Foxy changed the kit, but the bad news is it doesn't show. Definitely different shoes though. They're quite bright. I think they're Tour of Watopia shoes. So the riders at the moment on the way in towards the chateau. So plenty of chateaus in the group. So on the ride, we again dive onto the WoW Facebook page. I think this is the Rochefoucauld Chateau, or Rochefoucauld, if you're Rodney. Rochefoucauld it is. And the Rochefoucauld Chateau is one of the chateaus that's on one of our many routes. We also have the Vitoy Chateau. There are a couple of the pictures that are on there. Now, clear indication that we are heading towards the balance strip. We have the Von Top, or what is actually the Von 2, in the background. I can promise you there are no mountains that big where we're going in France for the WoW. I can absolutely guarantee it. Nothing that long. Even if we take you all down into the Dordogne, which is just to the south of the Charente, all part of the Aquitaine region that used to be part of England in the Middle Ages, all part of the English purview in France. But the Dordogne, even there, the hills are not as long as the Von Top. The Von 2 is an absolute monster. That's over in Provence, about a 5-hour drive away. In fact, it's about the same distance and time as getting across to the down to the Pyrenees. Now, looks like Katarzyna and Pitmorn squeezing at the moment, not making huge inroads into the time of this group. I suspect they're going to struggle to get back in again. I'm sure the beacons are all talking. I know our red beacon and yellow beacon regularly talking to each other. You can see by that red pillar up at the top, that does show that the gap has opened. It may well be that our red beacon is going to be out for a lap. The gap is not huge, but it's yo-yoing. It's about 13 seconds now. So it's coming down because they're at 2.5 watts per kilo now. But that is a big ass, because particularly with bike choice, it makes a huge difference when you're riding on Zwift. Today's bike of choice, let's take a little bit of a look. Can we pick up somebody who's likely to have the best bike choice, the fastest bike choice on the roads? I suspect our yellow beacon actually is going to likely to be on there. We'll soon find out. is Tracy Seeley on this Terminator on the fastest bike choice? Yes, she is. There we go. Not a bad guess. So Tracy at the moment, aero frame. This is the fastest frame. Get yourself onto Zwift Insider to find out what frame and what set of wheels at what level are the fastest for what course. Really, really important to find that out. So the bike you got there, full aero frame. This frame actually, this SWX frame, is faster or as fast as the frame being ridden here by Monkhouse. Now, we're going to dive off frames because coming up, this is a rehearsal for your finishing sprint. This is your last 320 metres when we come round next time. So this is the run to the finish. This green arch is where you're aiming for. So there is one full lap to go at the green arch. One lap to go at the green arch. One full lap to go. This is your finishing line on the next lap. So one lap to go. As they hit the line this time, that archway where the riders are going through is the indication of where you need to be when the finish is on. Now, the yellow beacon and red beacon in search, I think, they're not making contact, so I think our red beacon is going to be doing the business pip. Very experienced beacon there. Looks like Alice just squeezing with Abby Scales there on the back of the group. They've got to keep in touch. That run through there is the run. It's the rehearsal. We're now going to head across towards the gorge. The gorge is a real roller coaster section. It's a little way off yet. So if you remember the course profile, and you can see there we've gone up on the top left hand side of your screen. We're currently out on the far right hand side loops, so the far right hand loops on the way round. Then when we come down, we start dropping back down towards the coastline. It is a real roller coaster. The gorge is tricky to hold the group together. So if you're on the back, you need to squeeze on the uphills. If you're on the front, you need to ease off on the uphills. The pace of the group will take it through very, very quickly. If you get distanced on the way through, you're going to know about it, and that is not good news. That's something definitely to avoid. Now, let's take a little bit of check-in. Looks like Louise Harp in with us once again. Good to see Louise back on the Chainagng, to quote the Pretender song. That's sung by Chrissy Hine. So Louise just rolling on to the front in that classic kit with the Tron bike in the orange there. Currently roll along 77 revs per minute, 155 watts, just rolls onto the front and off. I think Jade Mobs and I think that's going to be Monkhouse just rolling through. Glad Jessup keeping that powder dry at the moment, tucked nicely into the group there. Just see all the way across the road at the moment, this group, as they head in, down and through. Now, the sprint top time, 33.27. Don't expect that to last when we come down next time around, because we will be coming through that a whole lot quicker. The riders, though, on a bit of a descent here. You drop down alongside the wall here. The wall basically bounding the outside edge. Get used to that if you're coming out to France. There's a few boundary walls around chateaus, around churches, some old churches that's dating back to the 11th, 12th centuries, all very much within walking distance or riding distance, depending on what you want to do. Lots of little roads to get there, tracks and chemin, or basically forest tracks. Chemin Blanc is like Strada Bianchi territory, so basically white road. Chemin Fleuret, Chemin Fleuret is the forest tracks, and chemin de fer are rail lines, all of which we have in abundance, including a few aqueducts and viaducts to go across as well. Okay, now taking a little check, looking back at the moment. Looks like Katerina is stopped at the side of the road, so that means that Pit 1 now having to make a bit of a decision what she's going to do. Pit is now going to have a bit of a squeeze on, I'm sure. She's going to take a little bit of a look. Ooh, look at that. Pit saying, I don't want you to come back for me. leg stretcher for the strong ones. Drop back. See if you can bring back on riders. Now, Foxy's kit has changed, so we've gone out and back in again. Foxy's going for it. Foxy on an aero frame, disc wheel on the rear, aero on the front. She's going back. She's going to risk it for a biscuit or maybe even a cookie. Yeah, she's saying wait though, guys. It's going to take a strong rider to come back now. Breadcrumbs required out the back. That is the phrase that we use. A breadcrumb is a number of riders who are out of the back of the group. Pitmorn is making her way up towards them at pace. So Yelby can just come in for a little bit more help, dropping back. The breadcrumbs, if you remember your fairy stories, your tales, basically Hansel and Gretel found their way through with breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs only last so long. So breadcrumbs, if you're trying to follow a trail of breadcrumbs home, don't leave it too long. You can't afford for them to be out the back for too long. Now, if the breadcrumbs aren't picked up too quickly, disappeared. Now, Fonseca just dropping off back. Hope Alice is feeling strong today. Looks like Emma from Full Speed Events is dropping back. Izzy Torrey is also doing the same. Pitmorn is on her way. It's not far away. I'll tell you something. It won't be long until she can see Foxy and vice versa. In fact, there we go. There's the pillar of light coming up now. The front is chilling. Come on, Pip. Time to get on the wheels. Foxy is your first target. So, no pressure, Pip, but you can see those riders in front. They're waiting for you. Are you ready? Don't get caught out by Pip coming through too fast. There's going to be some big shouts going out here. Now, here we go. So, the first catch is for Foxy. Then it's going to be Fonseca. Fonseca needs to wind it up. Alice, keep winding. You ready? Here we go. Foxy's going to get picked up first. And the catch is made. So Foxy now having to pick up the pace. This is time to get all together. They're going to have to work together, remember, to make this work. So here we go. This is the run. This is the chase. They're going to try and get back on. Can they do so before we drop down? And into towards the gantry. Now that's 2. Here we go. Where's number 3? Who's going to be 3? I think it's going to be Alice Fonseca. It's going to be number 3. Then there's about 4 up the road. So they're on the way. They're going well at the moment. So here we go. They are on the way. Diving down into the run through. It's looking good at the moment. Oh, look, this is an absolute horde of riders back here. I'm going to try and sit with the rider at the back. I think it's going to be rear mobs at the moment. Look at this, rear's winding it up as well. Got rear mobs. We've got Izzy. Nobody's not leaving anybody. I tell you, look at this. Joanne Lee has gone back. Foxy's back there. The lot. They are working to keep everybody together now. This is where they've all got to push and not leave anyone behind. They've got themselves 2, 4, 6, 7 riders. As the chase, Foxy's the last rider on the road. The worst thing you want, of course, is to go back and then get distance. You've got to sit in that stream, and this is what we want. So, breadcrumbs came back. The group are squeezing, and it's now, look at that, one long line now. So, as long as the front don't squeeze, the back will get themselves all into place. Pitmorn making her way through. Alice Fonseca on the way, and that is a great workout. So if somebody's feeling strong, go off the back, get themselves up onto the front, and that is how it's done. Absolute textbook stuff. Drop those breadcrumbs back. Great riding. I'll tell you something, Alice Fonseca, you are always welcome. Absolutely brilliant work. Dropping back, you've got the Chainagng absolutely first time. You don't need 300, I can't remember how many Chaingangs. Absolutely nailed it. Okay. Time to get the breath back. Our beacon, just holding everybody together. We're into the run down in the gorge. So this is where things have a habit of getting super fast, super quick because of the roll, because of the stretch through. Just making our way underneath those tricolor French flags on the side there. The gorge off to our riders left. Just dropping away down at the moment. This is like the viewpoints that you get looking over the short, nice big river down to the side. Maybe a bit of natural swim, maybe a bar overlooking a weir or a mill. Maybe a nice beach to go have a paddle in, cool your feet down after a hot ride. Am I selling it enough? Okay. On the way through. Now, riders on the way. I think everybody should be warmed up after that. Stronger riders got themselves back in. Looks like everybody working well at the moment. And he looks like our organiser, Emma, tucked in with the group nicely there. Classic old school kit, that's Peugeot kit. Do like it. Nicole Stockton, well and truly tucked in here. I think Nicole's going to be squeezed along well as they keep pushing in from the Aeonian squad. Aeonian squad racing in the kit. They'll be racing in the Tour of Boudica. I'm loving the fact that Pip Mon's graph is all red. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, on the way down. That momentum very, very quick as they come through yellow and red in the group. Big workout for our Red Beacon. Red Beacon is harder than yellow in some ways. Yellow is really mental because you've got to really, really keep your eye on what's going on the pace, on the group, on the chat, and ride, and be right there at those 3 Gs or maybe 3 As today. However, your Red Beacon, it's not so much mental staying and keeping track of all that. You just got to watch the back, but you've got to make decisions about, do you go to the front, do you go to the back, where do you back it off, where do you put the pace on, how many do you leave, and how far dare you go, and when does that bus form? And quite a lot of the time, you just yo-yoing backwards and forwards at the back of the group and at a right old pace. So very, very tough being the Beacon. Massive thank you to all of our yellow and red Beacons. They do an amazing job, and without them, the event just wouldn't be the same. Okay. Group's a little fractured at the moment. We're just going to see with our helicopter shot as we drop down on to the right-hand turn. 1 or 2 runners at the back just feeling the pace. Our helicopter overhead of Iona Sewell, the Tactic race team rider. In here, good to have Iona in with us. Tactic squad supporting the WOW Chaingang. Great to have them on board on the WOW, on the Donny Chaingang. Real great addition to the UK squad and strengthened it massively. Mitch has been working very, very strongly, taking a win, well-deserved win, actually, and kicking away into the finish previous WOW. Now, here we go. Making our way in towards the banner. In with Iona Sewell. Now, that means that we are passing the sprint, but remember, we have completed 1 lap. We finish at the Ballon Sprint. The finish is at the Ballon Sprint next time, 42 kilometres. We're just heading out of town at the moment. This is one of our fantastic sections on the way through. So a quick reminder, distances for those watching, not necessarily listening as much. Top right hand side of the screen. Ballon Sprint arches are finished 42.2k. That is the number that our riders need to know. Now, we're going to start shedding bodies, I suspect, because the call has come. 3 watts per kilo, please. The 3 watts per kilo, that means we're going to take away up to a slightly faster pace. That is going to stretch this out, ramping its way up. We've done the yo-yoing backwards and forwards, catching riders. Riders to 6 now, I suspect our Red Beacon, after all that time in the red, is going to be heading out the back and forming the bus. You hear the classic tickets please shout coming out at that point. So heading out of town. The message is coming out from Tracy Seeley. Keep pushing, you're stronger than you think, which is very true, unless you're like me who thinks you're way stronger than you really are and always end up taking and kicking when you shouldn't do. Miss Cookie, no, try not to. That's generally advisable. So just taking a run through our riders. Looks like Joanne Lee just holding station. 5 riders back, rear mobs hovering around the front as well. Alice Fonseca, she's very strong today. Could it be a debut win for Fonseca once the hammer goes down? The call went out to get it up to 3, and that's what's happening. The front is squeezing nicely. The middle of the group sitting about 2.5 in the slipstream. Pitmorm sitting near the back. Miss Cookie fighting for that draft at the moment. Come on, harness the power of the chocolate chip. What's your favourite cookie? Mine is either chocolate chip or yeah, chocolate chip pretty much. My favourite 3 types of cookie. So Cookie and Morn now just seeing that gap open in front. I suspect that we're seeing the formation. We'll let Pip tell us when the bus is officially formed. The unofficial, official forming of the bus. Oh, are we going to see anything more? Just seeing, I think that's Nina from Aeonian just being dropped there. I'm not sure whether that is a drop out or a stop there. In fact, that's a dropout. May well be heading off to race. Going to take a little bit of a chip, but out of action. So the squeeze is on at the moment. The red beacon is making Miss Cookie work hard. So I think that is elastic snap, game over. 8 seconds now the gap, and you can see the red is behind. So here we go, Cookie and Morn at the back. I think officially we could say that the bus is formed by our red beacon. So ding ding, tickets please, all aboard. There you go. Time for them to decide what they're going to do. You can do what you want when you're on the red bus, that's always my view. Whenever I've been at the autobus, I've been rolling in with the bunch because you got distanced by the leaders, which happened quite a lot when I was racing on the road. My view was, once you're out the race for the win, you can just ride along and chat. Why not? Enjoy it. It's kind of what we're here for. Now, will we find more riders heading that way? Key here, stay off the front. If you do not want to work as hard, sit at the middle of that bunch. So if you can sit in the group, remember that draft is 3 bike lengths long. That's the easy way to remember it. Stockton squeezes into the bunch. Great move there. Moves up into that bunch. Getting the draft right. Holding in the bunch. Getting the modulation. Sitting in the pack. Really, really key. Past master of it, Claire Jessup. A rider who will sit in that bunch. Waiting for the moment. Making sure that she expends the energy at the right time. Looks very smooth in there. Take somebody else who has not been putting the nose out too much. Louise Hart riding very smart. You can see on the outside of this group, just making sure she's not putting too much effort into get distance off the back, just rolling around the side. Just see Joanne is in here as well. So Chuan Lee looking pretty smooth. .81 revs per minute, so still a little bit to roll. Okay, looks like we're at 28.9k. We're at 53 minutes of riding. Our yellow beacon is getting ready to wind things up. This could be interesting. We've got quite a way to go. We've got the aqueduct climb. Looks like we might not even get to that before the moment comes from our yellow beacon. Tracy is here in that Cycling Nation kit. Just going to go to Mach 9. We haven't actually we used to have an SR71 rider on the Donny Chaingang. They were known as SR71. We actually had that, which for those aviation geeks will know. But that is the Blackbird, which used to cruise at Mach 3.5 comfortably. So pretty quick, not quite as quick as that 1980s classic Firefox, but you know, the Blackbird was a real plane. So, who's going to go? Will it be our Terminator? When is she going to press the button? Teasing our riders so far. Looks like it can't be all that long, surely, before we get to the point, until we get to the trigger point. Nervous times. Look at this group. Look at the group at the top. They're all one big ball. They're not stretched out, not strung out. Nobody's putting in too much effort too early, too soon. Because you know that the moment that the trigger's pulled, the plunge is pushed down, that the pin is removed and the grenade is thrown, this will explode. It will be strung out in one long line. Everyone's sat there. Nobody's going anywhere. This tighter than a ball of herring being attacked by a whale. A shoal of mackerel. Quite hypnotic, really. Watching the churn, watching the riders move around from this angle. Despite there being some great scenery on the way past. Mont Saint-Michel out to the side very shortly. In fact, just coming into view on the left of our riders before we head inland. It's a long way from Mont Saint-Michel to the Ventoux. A lot shorter in the French world on Zwift. Now, it's a little rise on the coast here. In with Emma Gilbert at the moment. The group looking pretty smooth at the moment. Just started to stretch a little bit on the front. I think the pace has eased off slightly here because we've got this little bit of a nervous moment. And I think the pace has just dropped back a little bit here because I don't think anybody wants to expend energy on the front. Now, Zwift portal off to the side. I'm sure nobody needs to take that onto the climb portal. You can basically go straight on towards it, and you take a turn off to the side. It's indicated by that portal from Stargate, basically. Just takes you in and across. If you've not been at one, they're quite an entertaining experience. They are very much raw graphics. So I think when you're climbing, it doesn't look like this with the world around the side. It's pretty much like the Velo viewer graphic that we show you. It's how the worlds are built behind the scenes. And it's just out through that portal, out to our riders left in a moment. So remember, the run to the Ballon sprint, 42.2k, the finish. Fast approaching 10k's to go. The riders at the moment just holding at 37 kph. So as we go past the herds of cows out at the side, they are currently making their feelings known about the riders coming past. I think our riders are making their feelings known at the end. In between, we know that the riders are going to give it everything to get to that line to take away the win. To see what position, will they be top 10, top 5, top 3? Will they take top spot? Will they get through without feeling like the lunchtimes extravagances were not a great idea? We will see. And the alley is gone. It is the go time. Here we go. The pressure is on. We're in France. All rules have ended. There is no limit. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. It is go, go, go time. Ali, ali, ali time. You can do what you want, when you want, where you want. You can sit at the back and have your pain au chocolat and a coffee. You can go on the front and rip it to pieces. It's totally up to you. Just going to take a little bit of a look here. I think Maddie Smith just not wanting to go with pressure. The Terminator at 1.0 going to be taking it steady. So this is really, really key. Maddie, I know, on the way back from injury. Now Jessup feeling the pressure. I think Maddie may have some company because Stockton jumps in, but we have got a kick on the front. Who has gone clear on the front? I think this is going to be... is it going to be Izzy Torrey? Yes, it is. Who's Torrey got for company? Oh, she's got Rhea Mobbs. Ooh, this could be spicy. Very interesting stuff here. So Torrey and Mobbs at the moment, they kicked on hard. They've got a little bit of a gap. We're in with Izzy Torrey, the Ionian rider. Number 1 squad on Zwift last year. Big squad of riders across all categories. But they're up against Rhea Mobbs now. We know Rhea, absolutely class act on the bike. So Jade Mobbs behind Rhea in the front duo. Will they be working as a duo to attack, take it turn and turn about? Currently riding at 4 watts per kilo, 4.6 from Mobbs. Now, here we go. What's happening behind in this chasing group? You've got Seeley, the Terminator up there. You've got Hart coming through. I think we've got Fonseca in there. We've got Webster, Foxy. We've got Joanne Lee, Emma Gilbert. I think Nicole just feeling the pressure. Come on, Nicole. Squeeze on that group. Get into that pack. Don't let that wheel go. Whatever you do, it's going to ease slightly in a second, giving you a chance to go back on again. There is a possibility, but you've got to keep pushing. And the speed 33, 35, 36 kilometers, 37 kilometers an hour. As you drop down here, this is the time to keep that pressure on. And then it will go up again. Very tough to get back there once that elastic snaps. Looks like Emma, our organizer of the Wow Chainagng, in what is quiet mode at the back, just sitting and surfing those wheels at the moment. So Nicole just being distanced here. She's got company not far behind in the shape of Claire Jessup, in the shape of Maddie Smith. So they are not all that far behind. Meanwhile, the leading group at the moment. Ooh, swap before you wasted on the front. Take it in turns is indeed the answer. At the moment, though, that gap, it's still sitting at about 5 seconds to Rhea Mobbs and to Izzy Torrey. Can they two-up this to the finish? They're working well here, the pair of them, and they're starting to eke out second by second, metre by metre. Slight distance here. So in between the avenue of trees, in that dappled shade they come. You'll be heading into the cobbled village sprint at the Pave sprint reverse fairly shortly. Now the fastest time through there was Rhea Mobbs last time at 36.72. Two leaders, Mobbs and Torrey, 6 seconds back. The chasing group led by Scales, but they're going to have to take a turn. The problem here is keeping them just in sight is at the moment actually keeping them just about on distance, and it's not by much because they are losing about a second every 30 seconds or go half a second every 30 seconds ago. So it's going to be about a second a minute they're losing in terms of distance. They can't leave this too long. Get to the aqueduct climb and then it's a really fast run into that Ballon sprint. So the distance is critical to the finish. Great riding as we come down past the sunflowers, and these two are taking it in turnabout. So Izzy Torrey on the front at the moment as we come down past those sunflower heads turning. with the radiance that's being given off by the ability of these two riders to really wind it up. We're coming into town at the moment, so we're going to see what time. This is going to give us a really good snapshot now. I suspect we are going to see that time of Mobs. Mobs' time was 36.72. If we see at the top of this, Mobs again with a faster time, which is quite likely, along with Izzy Torrey, then we know that with Izzy Torrey's time comes up, the two riders on the fastest time when the bunch goes through, they are continuing to stretch the gap. Look at the two of them. They come through, they can't see pretty much the rest of the riders. And I think we've got a break to try and come across. Monkhouse has said enough is enough now. They've gone through, but they don't have the fastest time. This is the fastest rider through that sprint. It's a rider who's bridging across. This is Monkhouse. Monkhouse has got a little bit of a gap here. Now, is she going to continue to push to get back up to the group? The gap is now at 10 seconds from Torrey back to Lee. Monkhouse has got the sprint time. She had the fastest time through, but I think it's easing back a little bit here because the two at the front have gone, do you know what? We don't need to worry about that sprint. We need to keep in front. The yellow beacon is not that far behind. You can see that pillar of light, but now at 11 seconds. What time dare they give this group? What time? How long dare they give them? This is going to be tough stuff. Oh, now we're going to hear Emma from Full Speed Events is going to do a death pull. So this is basically last gasp. Our yellow beacon is behind. So Emma, who is our organiser, is going to do a turn on the front. Death pull means go on the front, try and pull them back, stay on the wheel of the rider. They are going to give it everything to close the gap down. You need to stay on that wheel, but when they're done, they're going to go straight out the back. And I think Emma from Full Speed Events is putting in that kind of effort. And I think at the moment, it has to be careful because the rest of the riders need to work. They need to stay on the wheels. You need to keep those gaps down, guys. Use the effort of the riders in front when they're giving it beans on the front to try and open up the gap. At the moment, you can see Emma from Full Speed Events trying to bring the gap down. It's down to 6 seconds. Oh, it's down to 5. The gap is coming down. They've done that pull on the way in towards the climb. I think there's one or two people have felt the pressure. And now Emma from Full Speed Events has gone bop. She's going backwards like she's thrown the parachute out the back. She's braking faster than a jet plane with the parachute thrown out the back on a landing. But this is now being handed over. I think Jade Mobbs is going to go past Emma. Big pull there. The yellow beacon is sat in with this group. There is a push on the front. Fonseca is in this group as well. Hart is trying to come across. They need to work together to get the gap down. They don't want to give away all that time, but they're on the aqueduct climb here, and this is where it gets tough because you can see our leaders are on here and the group are behind. The gap is down visibly, but they've got to use the time and the pace to come across here. This is where it gets really hard. That feather that had been put in by Torrey to come over the top has helped. The chasing group are behind. Look at that. You've got Torrey with a feather. You've got Mobs with the draft being engaged. They know that they should get another one pretty soon. They're going to need it because behind them, you can see where that yellow beacon group is. Two leaders. Chasing pack is fracturing though. It's starting to break up. The cohesion is starting to fail. Oh, they need to get that super glue out quick and fix the gaps. They need to get it bonded back together again. They cannot afford to let this go. Another big push using the power-up. So Mobs had a draft as she came into that. She got an aero. She's used the aero to come up to the front. The gap is open to 6 seconds. Smart riding there. Mobs giving this everything. She's not saving everything. That is the last power-up opportunity before you get to the finish line at the Ballon Sprint, and Mobs has used that power up instantaneously as she came through to help keep this group clear, to keep this duo clear. They've gone back to 8 seconds, and I don't think the group behind have got an answer at the moment for Torrey and Mobs. They've tried closing, they've not closed, the gap has opened, and at the moment Rhea Mobs doing a very smart move with that power up there as she came through. Torrey is sat on a wheel here. They've got the gap. Wow, what is happening behind? What is this group doing? They need to get their act together quick. They don't want to be Marx Brothers out there. They don't want to be like the Keystone Cops. They want to be absolutely smooth in pursuit here. They need to be one cohesive drilled line. Think Tour de France team time trial. They cannot let that gap go. It's back down to 5 seconds. This is such a tenuous break, but it could be enough. Time is running out. Remember, we finish at 42.2k as we hit the Ballon Sprint next time. Our two leaders as we come in towards the Chateau turn, through the next village, onto the Chateau turn, and then onto the Ballon Sprint, have got a gap, but it is not substantial. This is gonna be a real nail biter of a finish. Foxy is on there doing a turn now, trying to help bring this group back. Every one of the riders in there is going to have to do a pull or they're going to be in trouble. I think Alice Fonseca not in the chase now. That's just snapped. She's got Lee behind, and I think Iona Sewell is there as well. Then it's going to be Gilbert. Then it's going to be Jade Mobbs, followed by Emma from Full Speed Events, Claire Jessup, and Nicole Stockton. You need to get groups together, guys. You've got to pull. Now, this chasing group have to work. They're not going to get there. The gap is still in front. 7 seconds. It's come back out again. This is going to come down to who wants it the most. Do you want to get the win behind? Because if you do, you can't save it for the sprint, or you're going to be sprinting for third place. In through the Chateau gates we go, down through the Avenue of Cypresses, heading in towards the Chateau. The two turrets at the side there, looking down either side of the main Chateau face. Down on the road as they come in into this right-hand turn through the Chateau walls and gardens. Around that right-hand turn goes Mobbs and Tori at the moment. Foxy leading the chase behind the group behind her. They are at the moment not able to take a turn. Foxy's giving it the beans at the minute. She's going to need to come off that before she blows completely. Scales is putting in a big turn here. 4 watts per kilo coming from Abby Scales. Looks like Angela Webster in here, Monkas in here, Seeley in here, Hart in here. Then we've got that slight gap back to Fonseca. She's not giving up here. Alice Fonseca really chasing to try and stay with that yellow beacon group. She may have been distant, but she has not let go completely because the gap to Lee and Sewell, which is a duo behind, they are coming. At the moment, Fonseca inside the top 10. She'll be gambling with that if she's caught by the riders behind, because it will be 9th, 10th and 11th places who are then fighting it out together. Gilbert has got Jade Mobbs behind her, but the battle at the front is still wide open. But the gap is going out once more, and the group behind, I think, have given up. That's it. They're not going to get them, surely. They need to pull something special. Mobbs and Tori are opening the gap. It's now 10, now nearly 11 seconds. Surely it's all over behind. We should be seeing a 2-up sprint. It's close, but it's no cigar for that chasing group behind. We are heading in towards the Ballon Sprint. It is not far away at all. We're going to start to see it coming up. I think this is going to be a 2-up finish. I agree with Emma from Full Speed Events. We're going to take a look using our satellite view. It's going to come into sight. These are the two. Now, if they hesitate, they will snooze and lose. You can't afford to do that. If they hesitate, that's the yellow beacon group behind. It's going to be a sprint for third place from them unless these two start to hesitate. So they're going to have to come in pretty hot. You can just about make out the trucks and the barriers at the start of the turn. The balloons are down on the floor, so the Ballon Sprint is going to be round this left-hand turn. Remember, when we hit this green marker, it is going to be 320 meters. There we go, over the green we go. And I tell you something, this is about who has gone where, because I tell you something, there has been a move, and Izzy Tori has ghosted clear. Tori has gone, and she pops up in front. So Tori put in a ghost there to kick away from Mobbs. Mobbs knew about it, but she didn't have, I think, an answer. It's going to go side by side. Mobbs takes it on the line. Oh, that was so close. Ghosted away. That is going to be a photo finish. I think Rhea Mobbs got it from Torrey. My goodness me, that was close. That is going to bear a watch back. Coming through, Webster Hart, followed by Monkhouse, followed by Scales and Foxy. Great run. That was a close finish. Fonseca comes through inside the top 10, holding off the riders behind. She's going to go through 8 seconds clear of Iona Sewell, who sprints underneath that green banner. Time to spin your legs out. Time to get that lactic acid out of the legs. Great riding up at the front. Great riding by Joanne Lee, by Iona Sewell, and Alice Fonseca after being distanced there. Emma Gilbert now heading in towards the finish. I think Izzy Torrey and Rhea Mobbs are going to have to tell us who got that, who they think got it. Then we're going to have to watch that back to see who made the finish. Going to be very, very close indeed. So next rider in underneath the finishing line here for the sprint finish. It is going to be Emma Gilbert. Big push on the way in. Absolutely key getting that last kick in. Jade Mobbs with that kick to the line. She goes in through. Again, another fastest time. You can see the amount of confetti that is being thrown at our riders, indicating a new fastest timer for the riders. Now, Jessup on the way in towards the line. Going to be our next rider heading in. The question is going to be, who got it? Do we think it was Rhea? Do we think it was going to be Jessup who got that? Going to be very hard to tell who it was who got that finish as they came in to the finishing line. This is going to be very, very hard to work out who got it. Now, next rider on the way in is Claire Jessup. She's going to be our next rider into the line. So Claire goes through, top 15 for Claire, 14th, third position, great ride, and another fastest time into the sprint. I think Nicole Stockton going to be our next rider. Nicole, time to push. You can wind down when you get the other side of the green banner. This is going to be a fantastic course. So here we go. Let's have a look. It is going to be the final run in. Great little course that. It was designed specifically to give us that tricky little finish. And a great ride in. Great ride by Tracy Seeley. Great ride by Pep, our beacons. The riders come in through. Well done to Nicole Stockton. Time to spin those legs out. Next rider back, I think, is going to be Emma, the organiser, who's going to be passed here by Maddie Smith. That's not something I haven't called before, I tell you. Maddie Smith making a pass on Emma. This time not on a cyclocross, but on the way into finish. Sorry, Emma, but it's true. It's Maddie Smith, the multi-time national champion, the rider known as the Terminator, the original T1.0. is on the way in to the finish. So Maddie Smith comes through. Great to see Maddie on the gang. Emma comes through, our organiser. Great riding by Emma, including that massive death bull to get in and through the finish. Now our next rider heading for the line is going to be Pip Mon along with Miss Cookie. Our two riders are on the way. So Pitmore and Miss Cookie on the way in. Just a quick reminder for you, if you enjoyed watching tonight, please subscribe to the Full Speed Events YouTube channel and make sure you catch up with the next WOW Chainagng. If you can't wait that long, then don't forget, lots of action on Zwift coming your way. Tomorrow I'll be bringing you the Donny Chaingang You can register for that. It is open to all riders and free to ride. It's www.buytickets.ad/fullspeed-events. You'll see Donny Chaingang on there. If you want to ride on Tuesday, Donny Chaingang, well, that is for members only. And that means if you're a member of the supporters club, you can ride on a Tuesday. You can join at the same place, www.buytickets.at/fullspeed-events. Don't forget, members also get great discounts. Currently 30% off Goodyear tyres, 20% off Gritty clothing, 20% off OTE Sports Nutrition. It's 10% off Halo wheels, discounts on Oakleys, and more at 1080. Nonna's meal coming up for members in February. You need to be a member to be able to access those tickets. And a quick reminder, that date 17th of February. Don't forget, if you want to head out to the WOW Week in France, please do get in touch with Emma. That's on the WOW Facebook page, the Women's Only Wednesday Facebook page. You can get there from Emma's links. That's at biking_Emma, or from my own page. That is at Matt Fixer Bain. Don't forget to give us a follow. And of course, you can keep up with Emma. She's going to be bringing you the Tour of Boudica on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So please do give that a watch. Emma will be on the mic for that, hosting, leading the commentary for us here at Full Speed Events. Now, Miss Cookie on her way in, goes through the line. Great riding by Miss Cookie as ever. As determined as ever to stay in as long as possible. We'll see you next Wednesday, Miss Cookie. I think we're having the pleasure of Miss Cookie in the flesh live in Studio 2, actually, next week. Meanwhile, on the way through towards that spin down towards the blue banner goes Pip Morn. Pip, one of our amazing beacons. So a massive thank you to Tracy Seeley, our yellow beacon, yet again showing why she is the Terminator and the yellow beacon with the best launches in the business, including the one that made the 500th Cycling Esports Show real, which is the please raise your tables and put your seatbelts on, ready for takeoff. Don't forget, of course, a massive thank you to everybody who's yellow and red beacon all the way through the season. Now, next week we are going to be coming your way. Let's show you where we are heading as Pip heads in towards the line, because we are going to be going to Tempest Future, one of my favourite courses, because it is basically flat. Yes, it is. There's no hills. It's wonderful. It's a great one where you've got to stay in the draft, heading out from the Pence through the Fuego Flats, heading in around through the Oasis, round the turn in the Neon City, heading back and through and round. It's going to be 39k in total. We've got Emma is going to be our yellow beacon. Miss Cookie is going to be our red beacon, which I think means our red and yellow beacon potentially could be in the same room. That's very dangerous indeed. Don't forget, we also have got access for that at www.buytickets.at/fullspeed-events. We'll be covering it on the YouTube channel as normal. Please do subscribe. Meanwhile, I am going to call that a day, because do you know what? To celebrate the 500th, I can't believe we've done 500 of these things, the 500 esports cycling shows, and covering well over 300 Donny Chaingangs and Wells. I'm going to have some fizzy stuff, some fizzy grape juice to celebrate. I hope you're going to do some proper recovery if you're riding the Chaingang tomorrow. But whatever you're doing, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.